Hello, Seville is now just a memory. Tonight it's Brussels that's the centre of the athletics universe. And in the penultimate Golden League meeting of the season, it's money, not medals, that's the motivating factor for some 15 world champions on parade tonight. One of them is Michael Johnson, in a league and a race all of his own in Spain. He did to the 400 metres world record there what he did to the 200 best in Atlanta 3 years ago. Johnson goes in the shorter sprint tonight. Spain signalled a coming of age for Inga Miller. Now the rest of the world is again chasing her over 200. Wilson Kipketer is still chasing a $1 million Golden League jackpot. The Dane needs 2 more victories over 800 to be in the money. But aiming to share the spoils is Gabriela Szabo. The gutsy Romanian goes in the 3000. One man who won't be part of the winning syndicate, though, is Bernard Barmasai, the steeplechaser deemed ineligible after coaxing his Kenyan colleague to let him win last time out in Zurich. And we'll also see Britain's Dwayne Chambers in the 100 metres. After bronze in Seville, he's now a major player on the world sprinting stage. Sally Gunnell is with me, looking tanned and healthy after a fortnight in Seville to cast her eye over events in Belgium this evening. But first, some news of Linford Christie. And the former world and Olympic champion today appeared before a UK athletics disciplinary hearing following his failed drug test. Christie, who tested positive for nandrolone earlier this year, was seen by the same independent 3-man panel that cleared sprinter Dougie Walker in July. Christie has denied taking the drug and says the positive test was a mistake. The panel's decision is expected early next week. Well, let's concentrate on events now in Brussels in the Heysel Stadium, and this is our timetable of events. No Maurice Green in the 100. He's in Glasgow preparing for tomorrow's Great Britain-USA match. But silver medalist Bruni Surin runs, and so too does Dwayne Chambers. All 3 medalists from Seville are back in action in the women's 400 hurdles at 5 to 7. Kipketer resumes his rivalry with Ezekiel Sepeng at over 2 laps after that. The women's 200 metres is next on the track, followed by the men's high hurdles, in which Mark Creer runs for the US, and no doubt he'll be keen to show what he can do after being disqualified for 2 false starts in Spain. Michael Johnson runs much later this evening, and so you'll be able to watch him in our highlights programme, or alternatively you can see it live on BBC Choice. So a whole lot to squeeze into the next hour and a bit. And first of all, Sally, I have to ask, how will these athletes approach tonight's event, bearing in mind it's only 1 week after those World Championships?
I used to find this the hardest piece of the whole season, and it's going to be the gold medal winners that obviously are going to be the ones that are going to come here. Not so much physically tired, it's just the mental side of it, because they really have worked themselves up to peaking for Seville last week. And just, I don't know, the pressure that you sort of like feel, and afterwards, you know, it's that sort of feeling of, I've done it, and there's only one way to go from there, and it's downwards. And a lot of those athletes will be feeling the tiredness of it all, of the interviews and everything like that. And obviously they've had that achievement, but you know, they're now saying, "Yep, I'm world champion. I don't really care what happens." I think the people that are going to be, you know, wanting to get back are the people that disappoint us. Maybe the people that have got the silver and sort of like the bronze medals and things like that. And they're the ones that are going to be going out trying to sort of like stance their position tonight. And maybe I could have done it, sort of thing. But the main thing here we're going to see is the people that are going to be going out there and going to be doing lots of races now in the next few weeks and basically cashing in there. And you can't blame them, you know, that's their choice. And I'm sure that's why Dwayne Chambers is here. He's running because he's a bronze medalist. He can make some money now, and that's very important for him. OK, what specifically are you looking forward to most tonight? I think probably the women's 400 hurdle, which was a great race out in Seville, very, very close with Pania and Hemmings and Bidouan. And also, actually, the women's 800 with Formanova, who obviously won out there, but, you know, was obviously... it was a great race, and very surprised, wasn't she? And obviously Matola's going to be wanting to come back, and Mastakova's in that race as well, so that's going to be very good. OK, you can hardly wait, neither can I. So let's transport you now to the Heysel Stadium and join our commentary team, Paul Dickinson, Steve Cram, and first David Coleman. Good evening, gentlemen.
Welcome to the Heysel Stadium, rebuilt in the past few years. 47,000 expected here. 43,000 tickets had been sold this morning. You can get in at the gate, but one or two gaps at the moment. But they're queuing up outside, I'm told. Steve, tremendous evening, that's it.
It's a great evening in store, big crowd in, there's a great atmosphere, lots of music in the stadium. So let's get straight into the action. Paul Dickinson.
Thanks, Steve. And one world champion, determined to hang on to a #1 status. Tiamata of Greece in the triple jump in the first round, and looks to have got off to a pretty good start. A surprise winner in Seville, but she proved to be the form athlete on the day in the final, and that's what counts. Unfortunately, Ashia Hansen of Great Britain had a foul in the first round, but I was talking to Ashia last night, and she did say that she's coming back into a bit of form, she hopes. Put in some good training after the World Championship final, so let's hope the British and Commonwealth record holder can produce something here tonight. So Tiamata chasing a lead of 40 meters 43 by Yelena Govorova of the Ukraine, and it's 14 meters 65. The world champion takes the lead. Well, first track event, the 3,000 meter steeplechase, a very, very strong lineup indeed, including the first three from Seville. Plus Moses Kiptanui, the Kenyan, who's 3 times the world champion. Been out of action a little bit this season, but comes back tonight. Wilson Voigt-Keita, the silver medalist. And Barmasai right there, he's the world record holder, but he didn't make it in Seville. He was only 5th. The big names in this: Chris Kosgei wearing 50, the new world champion. Wilson Voigt-Keita, the silver medalist. Azine of Morocco, the fastest non-Kenyan in the world. He got the bronze. Also Calabas wearing 60 of Germany, European champion. 4th in the World Championships. A big field, 20 of them, including no less than 10 Kenyans. And of course, the Kenyans dominate the world all-time list. The 3,000 meter steeplechase. 7.5 laps of the track. Scramble there to get to the front. Kapkori now of Kenya as the early leader. He's designated as a pacemaker. 4:10 is Barmasai, the world record holder. 4:07 is Yeta, who's expected to take on the pace as Corey fades. It's a really outstanding field, Steve.
Well, it's a very familiar field, David, as you said. Pretty much the guys who figured amongst the medals there in the World Championships. But of course, the interesting thing tonight is the fact that Barmasai, who was in contention for the Golden League, and this is what we're here for tonight, the Golden League, don't forget. In Seville, it was decided that his actions in Zurich, when he asked his teammate Kosgei to ease off on the last lap and allow him to win, Barmasai has been sanctioned for that, and now, although he has an unbeaten record coming into tonight, he will not be allowed to win the Golden League jackpot, even if he wins his last 2 races, because of those actions in Zurich. Remember that night, Christopher Kosgei, that's when we really had the first hint that he might win the World Championship, because he came up on Barmasai in the last 150 and looked as though he could have won the race, eased back in the last 20 or 30 metres, and then it was later revealed that Barmasai had asked him to slow down. So let's see what happens here tonight. They've asked for a quick pace. Let's see whether Barmasai has managed to put all of these troubles behind him, put his indifferent run in the World Championships behind him, or is Kosgei now really the world's #1?
Kosgei is wearing 5.0. Not the greatest technician in the world, but he's got speed between the barriers. Kapkori still in front, right up there is the man who will take on the next spell of pacemaking, Yetov.
And certainly they're beginning to stretch them out now.
Another athlete who ran very well in the World Championships was Calabis from Germany, who's moving up in the white vest, wearing number 60. There he is, in about 6th place at the minute. 2:41 through the first 1,000 metres. That's a little bit slower than they asked for, but it's just outside 8-minute place, which is still a very, very good benchmark for world-class steeplechasing. It's been a little while since we've seen anyone get under 8 minutes, so they're running good pace here, and I'm sure Barmasai will be happy with that, because obviously the World Championships there were no pacemakers. Had to do some of the work himself. Barmasai in 2nd place there. That's Yeto at 4:07, who's meant to take up some of the pacemaking duties very shortly. And then Wilson Boyd Kipketer behind them, and Koskai, there he is, a little bit further back with Calabis.
Well, certainly one or two wilting under this pace. 65, Kipkori. Moving over, making way for Yeto now. 4:07, who should be taking it on. 4:10, Barmasai. And certainly Barmasai, the world record holder, running a very positive race tonight. He's gone with the pace, and he's even prepared to take it on. Yeto, only 17, 8:15 this season, is finding difficulty in getting to him.
Well, it's hardly surprising, David, because Barmasai's really set his stall out here. Yeto, the 17-year-old, only has a personal best of 8:15, so it's asking a bit much for him to run at 8-minute pace for the first 6 laps and lead Barmasai around. He's doing a good job of trying to hang on to him. A little bit of a role reversal here. The pacemaker running behind the man he's supposed to be pacing for. Now he's trying to get in front of him. Barmasai might not realise it, but he already has a lead of about 10 metres, and the others are a long way back. We know that Christopher Koskai does have such a good finish, but if Barmasai keeps going away from them, just 3 laps to go, he might leave himself too much to do.
Barmasai said to the designated pacemaker, "You're getting too close to me," and he was crowding him for room, and Barmasai's gone away again. And the pacemaker can't live with this one at all. Yeto in 2nd place. Calabis running a good race, the German European champion. Also up there is Wilson Boyd Kipketer, the silver medalist in Seville.
2 kilometres, 5:21. They've maintained the same sort of pace, just outside 64 seconds a lap. That's right on 8-minute pace, assuming that they'll speed up on the last lap. Barmasai with a world's best time this year of 7:58.98. Nobody else has really got close to that, and that's maybe why he's stretching them out. He has a good 20-metre lead now with just 2 laps to go.
Katabi of Morocco is in 2nd place. 3rd is Zine of Morocco, the World Championship bronze medalist. Certainly the Moroccans taking on the rest of the Kenyans, but Barmasai making sure this is a true race. Well, if he wins tonight, he'll certainly be taking legal action over disqualification for the $1 million jackpot.
Well, I think this might be his way, David, of saying, I am the world's #1, actually, and I don't care what you do to me. I don't care if you've taken the prize money away. I'm just going to show you tonight what I can do, and that really, I suppose the Golden League title, if nothing else, should rightfully be his. He's been declared ineligible for the jackpot because he was in breach of regulation 6.7 of the IAAF Code of Conduct, whatever that is, David. I haven't got a clue what it is, but I presume something to do with fairness and gentlemanly conduct.
Coming round now, they've just heard the 1 lap to go, and Barmasai has really gone away from this field. He certainly has dominated. It's been a demonstration run. The rest have never been able to get near him.
Well, Barmesai with a good lead now. There's a good battle on for second and third. Wilson Boyd, Kipketer. Koskei is just passing Mizoy to move into third place, but he's left it far too late. They can't touch Barmesai tonight.
Nobody can catch this man. He's absolutely safe if he clears the last barrier. And even if he hits it, he could get up and still win. So Barmesai, the world record holder, only 5th in the World Championships, re-establishes himself. Photo finish for second place between Boyd Kipketer and Koskei, the new world champion. Well, Steve, he went about the business there.
Well, it makes you think, David, doesn't it? Why didn't he run like that in Seville? Why didn't he just go out 4 or 5 laps out? He's been head and shoulders above the others in terms of times this year. He ran 8.3 there, and no one else has run as fast as that this year. And I just wonder whether that race in Zurich really affected his confidence, and he didn't really feel as though he was capable of doing that in Seville, because if he had done, I've got a feeling that Koskei would have left it too late on that occasion as well and wouldn't have been able to do anything with him. So back to his best, really. Good front running performance, and if he does appeal against the decision, we'll have to see what happens, but I have a feeling that the IAAF aren't going to back down.
Winning time at 8 minutes 3.09 seconds. Still awaiting to see who finished second. Wilson Boyd, Kipketer, and Koskei in the frame. Well, there's the winner, Barmesai.
Well, here's one athlete who would probably rather forget her experience at the World Championships. Made it through to the final, finished 12th. British and Commonwealth record holder Asher Hansen now in the second round. She got a foul in the first, and that looks a little better. Well, certainly after the World Championship final, she did come back and do some solid training before she came here. And that looks a little better. A little more like the old Asher Hansen, who broke the world indoor record. She's had a few bad experiences this year, but I think by the time we get around to Sydney, providing she gets in a good winter's training, she'll be back in terms of what people might call the medal zone. So Asher Hansen looking for something good here. It's 14 meters 38. That's her second best jump of the year, and she's in 4th place at the moment.
News of the steeplechase, Boyd Kipketer did get second place, and the world champion Koskei third.
Well, in Seville, the sprints were scintillating, and we've got a very good 100 metres race for you this evening. No Maurice Green, of course, he's in Glasgow, but there's the lineup. Ito goes in lane 1 for Japan, and Kanza of Ghana in 2, Shervington, Australia in 3, Dwayne Chambers, Great Britain in 4, Suran, the silver medalist of Canada in 5, John Drummond, USA in 6, Stevens of Belgium in 7, Johnson, USA in 8, and Street Thompson of the Cayman Islands in lane 9. Well, no gold medalist from Seville, as I've just said, but the silver and bronze medalist, Dwayne Chambers, will be facing the American team again tomorrow in that GB USA matchup in Glasgow, but a really good opportunity for Dwayne here tonight to consolidate on that performance in Seville. That was John Drummond you just saw there next to Patrick Stevens. Stevens unfortunately had to fly home early from Seville because of a family bereavement. Curtis Johnson, he goes in lane 8. 10.09 this year. Kareem Street Thompson, who in his main event, the long jump, actually never made the final, but surprisingly got to the final of the 100 in Seville. Bruni Suran, what a race by him against Maurice Green. Pushed him all the way, 9.84. Equalled his more famous compatriot Donovan Bailey's Commonwealth record of 9.84, which of course used to be the world record. Great sprinting from the Canadian. And Dwayne Chambers, who wasn't too far behind him, don't forget, will be trying to get even closer here tonight. 9.97 he ran. And when the athletes have to try and psych themselves up at this stage of the season, I think often that's what they can aim for. They know they're in good shape coming out of Seville. They know that if conditions are right and they're in the right frame of mind, that they can still put in the good performances, still get the good times. Next to Chambers in lane 3 is Matt Shervington. There he is. There are 2 false starts, don't forget, in the semi-final. We'll be trying to make amends here. I know that he and many Australians think that maybe he could have sneaked a medal in that final. So the middle lanes to watch. Shervington in 3, Chambers in 4, Suran in 5. Street Thompson with a problem there. It's very, very noisy in this stadium. Very noisy indeed. We've had lots of music, good atmosphere. PA system is extremely loud. And a big crowd in here, and a lot for them to watch, and sometimes they're not quite aware of the fact that the athletes need, well, almost silence down there at the start. And he is closest to the crowd. Used to compete for the USA, Street Thompson, now competing for his native Cayman Islands. Dwayne Chambers conducted himself so well in Seville. Great silver in the relay as well. Just 21 years of age. Great future ahead of him. The quick starting Suran. Always used to be known as the quickest man over 50 or 60. Well, now he's one of the quickest men over the 100 as well. The getaway this time, and Dwayne Chambers got left in his block. Suran got out quickly with Drummond, and Drummond in the lead at the minute. It's Drummond from Suran. Suran trying to get back on terms. Suran just gets it from Drummond, and then I think Street Thompson in 3rd place. Well, I have to say that was a slightly disappointing race, I think, from the point of view of all of the athletes. Dwayne Chambers got a terrible start, was out of it right from the beginning. Suran was slow by his standards out of the blocks. It was Drummond who started the best, but he couldn't maintain to the finish. But Suran consolidating his performance in Seville, but the time 10.04, quite a way down on his performance at the World Championships.
Chambers, lane 4, got a terrible start. He's the last man out of the blocks and never really got himself into the race. The battle is on between Suran and Drummond. Drummond, gold medalist in the 4x100 in the World Championships, but Suran here starts to get on top in the last few strides, and Suran wins it. Drummond in 2nd place. Street Thompson, Cayman Islands, is 3rd. Well, there's a contrast in starting here. Bruni Suran left Chambers for dead. Chambers' reaction was very, very poor indeed. And you've got one of the quickest starters in the world next to him. And it shows that, I suppose young Dwayne would be very aware of that. Actually, there's a lot of special speakers in the stadium because there's a rock concert afterwards, so we're getting blasted.
Well, it shouldn't disturb Lars Riedel. Actually, the German who finished 3rd and got the bronze medal in Seville, for me, was one of the big surprises. The fact that the guy was going for a 5th consecutive World Championship, and he fell behind his teammate Jürgen Schultz, who's contested all 7 World Championships since 1983, and of course the winner, Anthony Washington. The American's not here, so Lars Riedel out for a bit of revenge here today. The lead at the moment by Virgilijus Alekna of Lithuania at 62 meters 87, and that is long. That second line is over 65 meters at well over 210 feet. Doesn't seem to be terribly excited about it, but that is a long way. Whips the discus through. That discus weighs over 4 pounds. It's quite a weight when you just hold it in your hand, but to throw it that far, well, you've got to be big to do it. They don't come a lot bigger than this. 65 meters 70. That's a big lead for Lars Riedel. Well, back in the triple jump, Jelena Govarova. There's 14 meters 51 at the moment, which puts her up in the top 3. Very easy stride. Oh, it's a big jump. Now then, she could be putting pressure on the world champion, Paraskevich Tsiamata. The Greek is the last to jump in each round. And she jumped 14 meters 65 in the first round. I wonder if that's close. No improvement yet by Asher Hansen. She's actually moved down into 5th place now. So the British record holder needs to find a little bit more. But Jelena Govarova, she's got the lead by 1 centimetre, 14 minutes 66, and she finished 7th in the World Championship.
News of the 100 metres. Dwayne Chambers finished in 6th place, pulled himself up from 8th. His time 10.31. Slow by his standards. The 1, 2, 3, as we call.
Dwayne, you could laugh there at the time, but it must be so difficult trying to pick yourself up after such a great championship.
Oh, most definitely, and obviously I've just come from the World Championships, and basically I'm not on a downer right now, but I've just come here just to have a run and just call this end to my season. Obviously I've got Glasgow tomorrow, so I'm just enjoying every moment from here onwards.
And how difficult is it with all the noise? I mean, there was a bit of kerfuffle at the start there. Is it hard concentrating?
It was something that I've been working on throughout the season. There's always going to be a bit of noise from the crowd, but at the end of the day, you just got to learn to block them out and get on with your job. But I seem to have done a bad job today, but I really don't care.
And what have you been doing, actually, since you got back from Seville?
Nothing. I ain't trained, ain't stretched, ain't stride, ain't done nothing. So I'm just coming in, just having a run and just taking it easy, really.
Now, you've got a busy weekend because you're going to Glasgow. You're looking forward to competing in front of the British crowd. They must be looking forward to welcoming you.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, I've been competing abroad so long, and I think it'd be nice to give the British crowd a bit of a treat and give them a big thank you for supporting me out in the World Championship. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
And to renew that rivalry with the American relay team as well.
They ain't getting away with this time. Hopefully, by hook or by crook, we're going to try and win this one.
Well, well done and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Check on the steeplechase result. Barmeside, the world record holder, so disappointing in the World Championships, reinstates himself really as the world number 1. 8.3.08. Wilson Boyd Keita, in the same place he was, 2nd in the World Championships, 8.07.08. And Koskai, the new world champion, 8.07.10 in 3rd place.
Well, the athletes are already out on the track, getting ready for the next event, women's 400-meter hurdles. Fascinating encounter it is too, because it pits the reigning world champion, the new world champion, Dema Parnia of Cuba, who goes in lane 4,